Hey Earthlings, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to stop being a victim to society. So to start off, one thing that we have to remember is that we create our reality. And even though it may be hard to fathom that, you have to remember that things don't happen to us. They happen for us. When you start to look at things this way, things start to become more positive. Your life starts to become more positive and you start to manifest the life that you want. You know, my entire life, I always had this victim mentality, which a lot of us do because of how we were raised and how, how society makes us want to feel. So we always have this mentality of like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Like, why did I lose my job? Why am I broke? Like, why am I doing all this? Whatever. About, I would say 6 to 7 months ago, I started changing my outlook. And in negative situations that would appear negative, I started to tell myself, you know what? It's happening for a positive reason and it's happening for me, not to me. So in order to live a happy life, you have to remember that the universe is working with you and for you. The universe is not against you. And that's what our mindset is nowadays, that the universe is against us, and it's not. The universe loves us, and we are powerful creatures that can manifest anything that we want. So in order to stop being a victim, you have to say, you know what? I am creating this. I don't know why I'm creating it right now, but later on I will figure it out and I'll find out why I created that situation for me. But all I know is that I created this. And when you say that, when you create that, you take your power back. If you say, why is this happening to me? Then you're basically saying that you're out of control and you're not in control of your own destiny and you're not in control of your own life. So when you start to say things like, I'm in control, I created this, even when it's something that seems bad, when you start to say, I created this, you take your power back. Our ego is so used to being in that victim mentality, like, this person yelled at me, this person did this to me, or why am my boss doing this? Why is all these things happening to me? Because your ego loves to be in victim mode. Because when you're in victim mode, your ego is necessary to have, but your ego is your fight or flight. Your ego is the part of you that is supposed to help you run away from a tiger if a tiger is chasing you. So it's supposed to help protect you and help, guard you. But the way we were raised and, part of the contract that we, spiritually signed before coming to this earth was that we were going to be using most of our ego, just for an experience, because we're just so used to being higher level beings and we're so used to using our higher mind all the time. We wanted to see how the experience would be if we just used most of our ego all the time. And obviously it's not really working out for us. So if we use, growing up, if we use our ego, from the time that we grew up till, now, your ego gets stronger the more you use it, instead of just, observing the situation and not being so, emotionally involved. We're humans and it's okay to be emotional and it's okay to feel those emotions. You're supposed to feel those emotions instead of, suppressing them, because the more you suppress it, the more, you're just going to have, shit go wrong for you because you keep attracting the same thing. So one of our goals in this life is to reach our higher mind level and to become those higher dimensional beings that we are. So we have to start observing situations from a non-judgmental view. When something bad happens to you, and I say bad like this because nothing is ever really bad. It's just how your mindset is. If you choose to see it in a bad way, then it's going to be bad for you. But if you choose to see that situation and you just observe it without any judgment, and you feel emotions coming up, like whether it's anger or sadness, feel those emotions. It's so important to feel your emotions, because if you don't feel it, you're not being human. And when you're not being human, and you're not feeling those emotions, they get suppressed and they get stuck in your body. And this is how cancer happens. This is how, diseases happen. And this is how, depression and anxiety happens, because you didn't fully express those feelings, or you didn't give yourself time to fully feel those feelings. If your significant other breaks up with you, it's not the smartest idea to go clubbing and get drunk every day and do drugs every day to try to get over them, because you're only going to feel worse, because your body and your soul wants to feel those feelings. It wants to feel sadness. It wants to feel anger, because the high frequency vibrational versions of us are used to being so happy and content with life. So part of our experience on earth is to feel those feelings. So your soul wants to feel sadness and anger and, love, happiness. So when you go to the club and you try to forget that person, or you get drunk and you don't take the time to just fully sulk in and you fully, feel those feelings, you suppress those feelings, and then you end up attracting the same kind of relationship over and over again. And not to mention, you'll never heal from that experience or that relationship. You'll only store those feelings in your body and mind and bring those feelings out on someone else and yourself. So your significant other may have broken up with you, but if you don't feel those feelings, you're going to keep attracting the same kind of person into your life and going through the same kind of situations, negative situations, because your soul wants to learn a lesson here. So if you take the time to feel your feelings, that's first thing. That's awesome. And that's the first step. But to also be aware, the second step is to be aware of those feelings and to not judge them. Just be in them. Just be in that state of, fully feeling your feelings. And also, guys, the more you do this, the more you'll be able to get over that breakup or that situation or whatever it is that's bringing you down. If you fully feel those feelings, you'll be able to fully get over it so much quicker instead of suppressing it, because then it's just going to drag on and you're going to feel those feelings for a very long time and you won't ever be able to get over it. And also be aware of the situation. When things happen like this, so let's go back to the example of your significant other, breaking up with you, or even your significant other cheating on you. You have to ask yourself, how did I attract this in my life? How did I create this? I created this experience for myself. It may seem like they did it to you because they're the one cheating, but you always have to say, how did I create this? What did I do to create this? And what is the lesson here? When you start to, tell yourself, how did I create this? You take your power back instead of being powerless. When you go with, trying to, say, I can't believe she did this to me. And then you curse her or curse him and whoever it is. And you try to, blame them. You have to take account for your own actions. And it might not seem right now like you did anything to create it, but trust, you did. You created that experience. And when you do that, instead of being in a victim mentality, it's gonna be hard sometimes, because when you try to tell yourself that, at first it takes a little bit of practice, because when I started to do this, it was hard. My ego was like, no, I did not create this. They did this to me. They did this to me. So you have to just go with it and just keep telling yourself that, because you have to train your brain to remember and to think, I create my own reality. I created this. So when something negative happens to me, it's like second nature to remember, oh, well, I created this, so I must be doing it for a positive reason, because I know I have my best interest at heart. So when you start to do that, you might not see it right at that moment, but later on, you're going to see how it was such a positive thing for you. So first step is to fully feel those feelings when something negative happens to you. And second step is to be aware of the whole situation, look at the whole thing, and without any judgment. That way you can, because when you start to observe the entire judgment, your soul is present and your soul can experience the entire situation. And then your soul is able to manifest a situation that will be better for that, because it experienced that situation. So now it knows how not to experience that anymore, because you already went through it. And then the third thing would be to remember that I create my own reality. You create your own reality, guys. It may seem crazy to believe, but you are powerful. You are God. We are God. And you have to remember that we create everything in our lives. So when you start looking at that outlook, you get out of victim mode and you're not the victim anymore. And then you start to realize, oh my God, later on, you'll start to realize, wow, I did create that because I did this and I did that. And the fourth thing would be to ask yourself, what is the lesson here? There's something that I'm supposed to be learning from this situation. What is it? It's hard to do this if you don't fully feel those emotions, because you're in those emotions, and it's hard to think with a clear head when you're angry or you're sad, or even when you're happy sometimes. Sometimes it's just hard. So you fully just feel those feelings first and then get into a space of, well, I created this. What is the lesson here? And then you'll be able to not manifest those negative situations anymore into your life. Stop being a victim, guys. We need to get out of this society of, she did this to me, or he said this, or he did that, or, we're powerful. Nobody has control over us. We have to get out of that mindset. Once we start doing this in our everyday life, you're going to start to see the entire world change. You're going to start to see the government has no power over you. You're going to start to see that people don't have any power over you. Your boss doesn't have any power over you. You control your entire reality. You'll start to see it manifest all around you when you start to get out of victim mode and say, things happen for me, not to me. Everything happens for you, not to you. You are not a victim. Get out of that victim mentality. Put your big boy pants on and start living the life that you want. You cannot live the life that you want and manifest the things that you want if you're always in victim mode. You guys got this. Be a powerful God. You are gods and you are goddesses. It's time to start acting like it. Take control of your power. Take control of your life. You got this, guys. We are not victims anymore. If somebody says something bad to you, ask yourself, why did I create this? Why did I need to hear this? Sometimes things happen to us because we needed to experience that. So get out of victim mode, be the powerful God and goddess that you are, and start living the life that you want and fully just be happy being in this life. That's all for me today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'm really trying to grow my YouTube channel, and I'm really trying to, be a credible YouTuber. So if you can please do that for me, please ring that alert button so that you can get notifications every time I post a video. That way you can see it immediately. I appreciate it so much, guys. Please show your love. I appreciate you guys. Have a nice day. Namaste.